Winter's here.
Here too. Oh my gosh, did you get snow?
We did get some snow, and then it was kind of coating everything last night, and then it kind of
Yeah.
disappeared by morning. It's just
Oh, it's one of those snows, yeah.
yeah,
Well, we're supposed to get snow tonight and tomorrow. We'll see.
yeah.
We'll
We're
see. It's
probably going to get
cold,
some more. It is.
very cold. Do you want to welcome us
I will
all?
warm us up with the introduction.
Good.
Welcome to the Garden Angelist, where we chat about flowers, veggies, and all the best dirt. I'm Carol Michael from Indianapolis, Indiana. I have a suburban garden measured in square feet. It's about a third of an acre.
And I'm Dee Nash from Guthrie, Oklahoma, where I still have a large garden out in the country.
We are Garden Angelists because we love gardening, and we want you to love it too.
Yes, we do. And we aren't afraid to spill all of our gardening secrets, the good, the bad, and even the ugly. But let's move on to this week's episode. Carol, tell me what you did in your garden.
So last Sunday, we're recording this on Sunday after Thanksgiving, but last Sunday I mowed for the final time, I think. Finished cutting back some stuff, added some more stuff to my big brush pile on Monday. And Tuesday, in the mist and rain, the crew came and hauled it all away.
Wow.
And then Thanksgiving came. And then on Friday, I put up my outdoor lights. So they're all up, which is good because it was sunny and beautiful. And yesterday was Saturday. Yes. And it was cold and windy, lots of leaves blowing around. But anyway, and I was a guest on CL Fenari's radio program yesterday.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What did you guys talk about?
We talked about gardening in my books.
No kidding.
Yeah. I've got links all over social media, and we'll put a link in the show notes. So how about
Sounds
you?
Fun. I'm just keeping everything watered, and my Amaryllis bulbs came that I ordered, which I believe they're a double white because I love that look inside blue and white pots. And I need to go plant them. They came a couple of days ago, but then Bill had bought me some waxed ones from, he didn't go to Costco. He went to, what's the other place?
Sam's Club?
Sam's. He went to Sam's. And they're in green. They have green ones and they have red ones. And they're
I
really
need
pretty.
to go get the green ones.
You do, because they're really pretty. And let's see. And we put out our bird feeders today and yesterday both. And that's what made me late to record because I was out hanging bird feeders.
Nobody knows you were late to record except you spilled the beans.
I decided to tell people. So that's what I've been doing there. What about your favorites?
My favorite this week, I'm going to go all traditional. The Thanksgiving cactuses are blooming. Hurrah.
Mine are not blooming yet. Mine are just sitting there growing. Isn't that weird?
That is weird.
Sometimes they bloom at Christmas. Sometimes they bloom, who knows. I'm excited about the waxed amaryllis because you don't have to do a thing to them.
No, we're going to talk about that a little bit coming up.
So how about our question of the week?
I'm going to read it since you got it.
Okay.
A few years ago, when you helped me with my flower bed, you recommended goldenrod. I casually looked for it at different nurseries and haven't been able to find it. A neighbor posted this picture on Facebook and said she found some in a ditch near Deer Creek. I asked her for seeds and she recently gave me some. I showed them to another neighbor who is a seasoned gardener and she said it's not goldenrod and it looks like a weed. Please advise.
Okay, that was from Amber. And yeah, I actually garden coached her way a long time ago. And it is goldenrod. She had sent me some pictures so I could see it. And I said, those are definitely goldenrod. And I explained that there were many different types of goldenrod, and probably the one I suggested, although it's been a long time ago, would not be the one that you go dig out of the ditch. Not because it isn't a good plant, but that particular goldenrod really runs. It has rhizotomous stems, and it takes off and tries to take over your garden.
Yes, it does.
So I usually suggest some other ones, including and I also explained to her that if that beautiful bouquet she was showing in the picture were her seeds, they were not mature and probably hadn't been pollinated. And so, because they were actual blooms. And so I said, they probably aren't mature yet and may not mature. And then I said, this variety is very pretty. And I sent her a link to showy goldenrod, which is one of my very favorite varieties.
That is a good one.
How was that for an answer?
That's a very good answer. I like the Shorts goldenrod, which is Solar Cascade.
I do too.
Now, it does tend to run. I've got a nice patch of it, though. Yeah. So
I don't care if it runs a little bit, but that one that we have that is native everywhere, It it took over my garden once.
Yeah, it's shown up in my garden and I was pulling it out. And even when I was cutting stuff back, and don't people get mad because I cut stuff back. I was getting stuff hauled away. Might as well get it all hauled away.
Yeah, I saw that. It was a huge pile. We should put the picture in our newsletter this week. And then that brings us to the insect of the week and live Christmas trees.
So neither you nor I have a live Christmas tree in our homes.
Right.
You because of allergies, me because I'm lazy. But should you
I'm
get
Can I just
what?
say, I'm laughing because they keep showing this paper Christmas tree on Instagram, and I keep showing it to Bill. Like it unfolds and it becomes this beautiful little. And I'm like, Bill, let's just do that this year. Talk
Yeah.
about lazy. But I doubt if that happens. I probably will put up the tree. But go ahead. Some people love a good live tree.
A good live tree, but the thing is, there can be hitchhikers on the good live tree, and we're not talking garden fairies or tree fairies. We're talking insects. We're
Yeah.
talking spiders. And so they're dormant and they're out in the cold, and then you bring them into your house, and the next thing you know, you got aphids and spiders crawling around. The good news from Penn State, though, is they're relatively harmless and they won't survive very long in the indoor environment because that's not their environment. It's too warm.
Right. It's too warm for them and too
And the
dry.
wrong time of year for them to be warm.
Right. Because
So-
certain spiders like to live in the house and other spiders like to live outside.
So anyway, just I would make sure to give your tree a good soak before you bring in. I would shake it down really good and make sure and kind of do an inspection. Make sure it doesn't have a bunch of bugs on it. All right. I'm going to do a quote. We're going to talk about flowers. The cold arrives like an old friend, asking us to slow down and listen. The trees loosen their grip. The wind rewrites the landscape, and the soil hums with quiet activity. Winter isn't an ending. It's the season when the roots gather strength for the return. Paul Avellino, and we found that on Instagram.
Yeah, we loved it.
I'm not sure cold arrives like an old friend. There's probably
It arrived here like a freight train. We had
Exactly.
huge wind and it was just something else.
yes,
So.
yes,
But
yes.
maybe in Paul's world, it arrives like a good old friend.
Yeah. So we didn't know what to talk about the weekend after Thanksgiving. So we thought, why not just talk about some holiday plants, which I consider holiday plants a good excuse to get more house plants.
Yeah.
Because even if somebody says you have enough house plants, well, you don't have holiday house plants. So you got to get some.
Yeah. Especially Amaryllis,
What?
which are hibbeastrum.
So wax versus potted, and so you're
both.
having both. I have potted ones, but I don't do all the necessary things for dormancy to get them to rebloom. Occasionally they'll rebloom and I'm like, thank you, but I'm very casual about them. They kind of grow as a foliage plant. Sometimes they die back. Very, very casual about them.
Oh, I'm so casual. I mean, seriously, sometimes I let them live and sometimes I just toss them in the trash, which all of our friends who save every plant are now very upset. So
I do have a friend in Garden Club, and she and her husband have kept some of red amaryllis, I think it is, for years and years and years and years. They haul it out in the summertime, and it lives on their deck. And then, as I recall, they give it its dormancy in their garage for 8 to 10 weeks, and then they wait until after Christmas, and then they pull it out, and they usually get blooms by Valentine's Day.
Oh, fun. So that would be a good reason to do that so that you could time the blooming.
Yeah. I just take it as it comes.
I do too. I just don't care that much because if it comes before Christmas, great. If it comes after Christmas, great. I just don't care.
Yes. And if you want it to be exactly on Christmas,
Good
go
luck.
you to a florist and buy one already in bloom right at that moment that you want it.
Yeah, no kidding.
Or get a fake one. Never mind. Christmas cactus.
Which is almost always really the Thanksgiving cactus. We've talked about this
Yes.
before. The Christmas cactus is not okay. It's got a different leaf shape at the top. It doesn't have the little points. And you have
it's rounded.
You have a Christmas cactus.
I do. One of our listeners from up in Lafayette, she mailed me some starts 2 years ago, and it's actually a pretty nice looking plant. And those things, That's the one that you see on Instagram where somebody's got their grandmother's Christmas cactus that's lived for like 100 years.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen those? And they're huge.
Oh, that one that's on Instagram is amazing. It's just gigantic.
So my true Christmas cactus with the rounded leaves does not show any signs of buds, but it's not early. And like I said, the other one was blooming now and yours isn't. But again, we can't time everything perfectly the way we want to.
No. And you know what? Mine will bloom when they bloom. I have 3, and one of them got fried, but I saved it. So anyway, I took them outside this year. Don't do that.
Don't do that.
I took them out on a really nice day that was not too hot, and it fried anyway. And I knew better. Because light inside your house is really dim compared to light outside. It doesn't matter what time of year it is. I mean, well, it's worse in summer, but still. So that was a big mistake. Anything else you want to say about the Christmas cactus other than Diomasquilters?
They are from Brazilian rainforest where they grow on trees. So
that would be shady.
They aren't really cactus. And they like it to be indirect light. And again, not my favorite movie, but in the movie, The Homecoming with the Waltons, in the first 5 minutes, Mrs. Walton discovers a Christmas cactus blooming in the basement and brings it up for everybody to see. And it's the fakest looking plant I've ever seen. Let's move on to Rosemary.
So they like to train rosemary plants into those little trees. This would be a vertical rosemary. Once upon a time, I wrote a whole article on rosemary, and I had to research the heck out of it for Family Handyman. And there's the kind that trail, and there's the kind that are upright. Those rosemary trees are really cute, but don't expect to keep them because they are too root bound.
That and houses are really too warm for most rosemary.
And dry. They're too warm and dry. The air is dry. I mean, rosemary's come from a dry place. A lot of them come from Greece.
I'm pointing to the rosemary behind me that it doesn't like that it's near that vent.
Yeah, I had a plant that accidentally got near my vent when the heat came on, and it was like, excuse me. So I moved it.
One moment, please. Could you move me? Excuse me. I do like them. They have a lovely scent. And we talked a few weeks ago how the rosemary scent is supposed to improve your memory.
Yeah. Yeah, it's supposed to. But you know what it improves for me? Chicken. I love rosemary with chicken. I do.
Oh, okay.
It's also in Italy. They use rosemary all the time on steak. Because
that sounds good.
It is good. When you go to Italy and you get steak as your secondi, your second course, it comes in, it's like one steak and it's sliced in a bunch of slices. And then they put rosemary and olive oil on top and salt.
Nice.
Very nice.
Very nice. Okay, we can't go on with Christmas flowers without talking about the poinsettia, which we have talked about a lot.
But we love them. We love them.
Yes.
Even though they drop their leaves, even though they just seem they're a tropical plant that you're trying to get home in the cold.
Yeah. This isn't the week to buy one here in Indiana. No.
Here either. Don't buy them yet. Wait. And don't buy them too early because then they drop leaves everywhere. And then Carol kept hers alive last year for a really long time.
I did. And then I sort of sadly neglected it in the spring and early summer. And I thought, oops. And I killed it. So I need to buy another one.
And then Dee threw hers in the trash after Christmas because that's how.
I'm going to buy another one, and I'm just going to keep my eye out. And when I find one that's really nice and full and speaks to me, I will get it, and then I will bring it home.
Right. Okay, next we're going to talk about Paperwhites, which are Narcissus tazetta.
Yeah.
And I will never forget that because I have written more articles on Paperwhites than almost anything. A lot of blog posts, a lot of articles. And so Ziva is the one that you find in the stores everywhere. And to me, it stinks. Some people think it doesn't. I think it's fine outside if you live in an area that's zone 8 where you can grow them outside. But inside a house, it's really overwhelming. And what else do we want to say? I order mine online when I do them. I haven't done them for a couple of years because I don't know. I did that. I think I'm in a stage where I'm been there, done that about 500 times.
They are nice. I haven't done them in several years because I never think to order them. But they do use vodka in the water, and that keeps them from flopping over, which is one of the problems. Is they get tall and they flop over. But it's 1 part vodka, 7 parts water,
Right.
which probably breaks some people's hearts to think about using vodka in that manner. And I'm like,
Yeah,
just do it.
it's just vodka. Also, there are less fragrant varieties like Inbal and Ariel and Nur. There's a bunch of them. And so we can do a little, I mean, I can find one of my articles that I wrote about.
Yes, because I found one of my
I can't
our
believe you
articles.
found a family handyman article out there.
Well, we should tell people that all those articles we wrote for Family Handyman, as they update their website and go
They're
through
gone.
editorial, they disappear, and nothing you can do about it. But I did find the article that I wrote about Christmas plants, 14 Christmas plants for the holidays. It's still out there as of this recording, but a lot of the links are gone. If you try to link through, they're gone.
All that money they spent trying to get those articles, and then they decided to break all the links. But I digress. Anyway, there's a bunch of information on my blog, and I will go find it. I can do that.
Okay. All right. Do the quote for vegetables.
Autumn arrives in early morning, but spring at the close of a winter day. Elizabeth Bowen. Not today. It doesn't. It's freaking cold here.
I don't understand, but anyway.
I think what they're trying to say is it's chilly in the morning, but by afternoon, not so much.
Okay, I can go with that.
It works. All right, vegetables. So you decided we should do root vegetables, which I kind of love.
Yeah, and the reason I bought a mix of fire roasted root vegetables from Costco, of all places, that are frozen.
Yeah.
It's got like parsnips. Good? Yeah, parsnips, sweet potatoes, some onion. And I cannot remember what the third one is, but I thought, well, let's just talk about
favorite root vegetables.
Let's just talk about it.
I mean, I roast root vegetables about at least once a day, every week, because they're really good for you.
But do you fire roast them?
No, I just roast them in my oven on a really high temperature. I can't fire roast anything because I have electric appliances. I mean, I guess I could outside on the grill, but I'm not going to do that. All right. So the first one up is sweet potatoes. And sweet potatoes are super easy to grow in my climate. Super easy. You usually buy slips, which are the little plants, and you stick them in the dirt, and they take off as soon as it's warm, and you will have sweet potato vine everywhere, and then you'll end up with sweet potatoes. You just got to harvest them before it freezes.
Yes, and here, not so much because our season is a little bit shorter.
Yeah.
And sweet potatoes require patience because it takes 100 to 120 growing days for them to reach the certain size.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the articles I read said, do not over fertilize them because you'll get lovely foliage, but you won't have very good roots.
Right.
And so that's
one thing. True of all root vegetables. You want them to put the energy into their roots and not as much into their leaves.
Yeah.
Now there are other sweet potatoes out there. We've talked in the past, and there's Japanese sweet potatoes, which have white flesh, and it's a little drier, less sweet than other sweet potatoes.
I saw those at the store the other day. I was tempted.
They're really good. I like them better, but they don't have as much carotene because they're white inside. So do you want to move on to the next thing?
Parsnips. I am beginning to like parsnips. Again, this is one for the patience game, 100 to 120 days from seed sowing directly to coming up with a finished off parsnip.
Mm-hmm. They're very long. I've tried to grow them several times, and I'll be honest, I can't get them to maturity. I've tried. I'm sure.
Well, the one thing
someone has.
Go ahead.
I'm sure somebody's able to do it, but I can't get it done.
I wonder why. Because it says you leave them in the ground through several frosts and then pull them out before they're stuck in frozen ground, and that sweetens them up a little bit. I may try some parsnips next year.
I think part of it is our hot summers.
Could be.
I think it makes them bolt. I've tried various ways to grow them, and it has not worked. So.
And for listeners who don't know, bolting means they head for the door. Bolting means they send up a flower stalk and then the root is not going to be very good.
No, it's
once
tough.
that happens.
It's tough and the core is tough. So that doesn't, yeah. So if I want a
No.
parsnip, I buy it. I mean, they're cheap.
Yeah.
But they do make really long roots. So.
Yes. I'm going to try it and we'll see.
Okay, I want you to try it. I want to see. Okay, potatoes.
Also, a little bit of the long game, although a lot of people don't realize you can plant potato slips or seed potatoes with a little shoot a couple of weeks before your last predicted frost because they don't mind cool soil and they'll kind of come up when they need to. And that's gives them a little bit of a head start.
Right.
I have grown potatoes, but I
too.
never got enough of a harvest to think I should grow potatoes. I just go buy them.
I grow them and they are really good. And I've had some good harvests some years I don't. I mean, I don't think they're super hard to grow, but that's
No.
just me.
Now, my last harvest, I grew them in a fabric bag. It was pathetic because I should have just been able to turn over that bag and there should have been potatoes rolling around the patio. And there was nothing. And I'm like, what happened here?
I have not had much success with them in fabric bags either. I don't know why.
So
I do better.
But in the ground, you have to dig them. And of course, you'll spear them with your digging fork.
Eat
your
those
potato
first
fork.
because you've messed them up. Okay, so turnips. I love turnips. I've talked about growing turnips about 1 million times. I don't love turnips in the store. I love the ones you grow yourself because you can harvest them really small. The easiest one to grow in my climate is purple top globe turnip. Isn't that the name of it?
I think purple top is the one that most people grow. I think there's a turnip called Avalanche that's all white.
It is.
From Burpee.
I've grown it.
And so I think
good.
All America Selections, maybe they sent us some seeds.
Maybe so. Also, I've grown some of the Japanese ones and they're good too. They're small and white. So pretty good, pretty delicious. Not too hard to grow. Short season. Easier to grow than beets.
Yes.
I think.
And by the way, they also will taste a little bit better after a light frost.
Mm-hmm. Like most root vegetables, now that I think about it. Not sweet potatoes.
Not potatoes.
Or sweet potatoes.
And not sweet potatoes.
Right. And we didn't mention carrots, but carrots are just a cousin of parsnips.
Yeah. Or parsnips are a cousin of carrots.
One or the other. Yeah.
Anyway, so with all root vegetables, the main thing is you need a good friable soil. They run into rocks or hard soil or whatever. They won't, especially carrots and parsnips will not form very well.
Right.
So keep that in mind.
Right.
So that's vegetables, fruit vegetables, winter eating, as they say.
Mm-hmm. And then you said, Dee, come up with a good recipe. I think you were saying for turnips.
For anything.
I just roast them with olive oil, salt, and pepper, and some herbs. That's it.
Okay.
I like to put chicken thighs in the middle of the, of them, because then they get that nice flavor. That's it. That's all I do. Easy.
Easy peasy. I'm going to do a quote. We'll talk about the book.
Okay.
What good is the warmth of summer without the cold of winter to give it sweetness? John Steinbeck.
On our bookshelf this week is Decking the Halls, The Folklore and Traditions of Christmas Plants by Linda Allen. And you wrote, you will need to find a good used copy. And it was published in 2000. But there's a new book out this year, too.
Yes. So this one, I looked and good used copies. I'm trying to get that so the light's not, forget the light. Good used copies are like $40. I mean, it's just a tiny little book. But I have it in my Christmas book collection, and it's nice. It's got all kinds of information about Christmassy plants. Did you get this one from the library, Dee?
Yes, I got it on my iPad. And it was
okay.
It's nice.
Yes. Decking the Halls, Trees, Flowers, Herbs, and Greenery to Celebrate the Holiday Season by Janet Melrose and Cheryl Normandow. And this just came out last week.
Right. And it's much easier to find.
Yes. These are two gardeners up in Canada, I believe. And they have written several books. I think they said on Amazon, they've written 12 books.
Wow.
I could not find this on bookshop.org. It was only on Amazon. So.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's got all kinds of information about all the different Christmas plants you'd ever want. They've got little stories to go with them, little trivia about their origins and things like that. All the different Christmas tree varieties you'd ever want. They've got those. And it's illustrated not with photographs, Dee. It is illustrated with little
Drawings.
watercolor drawings. So it's very nice. Drawings. I was trying to figure out another
So
one.
it would make a really good holiday gift, wouldn't it?
Yes, it would make a very good holiday gift.
For
Like
the
you
gardener
could
in your
buy,
life.
you could buy somebody some, like this has got Paperwhites, cyclamen, and a Norfolk Island pine.
Which you
could
can
buy
find
somebody
those right now, the Norfolk Island
You
pines.
could buy somebody a really nice holiday plant and then give them this book. It covers pretty much any holiday plant you can think of. So I like it. I'm happy to have it I bought it when I saw it was just coming out. I'm happy to have it in my Christmas book collection.
Yeah. Very nice.
You want to read the title one last time, Dee?
Yes, I will. Let me move up there. Decking the Halls, Trees, Flowers, Herbs, and Greenery to Celebrate the Holiday Season by Janet Melrose and Cheryl Normando.
Very good. All right. I believe that
the quote's mine.
You're going to do a quote.
I wonder if the snow loves the trees and fields that it kisses them so gently, and then it covers them up snug, with a white quilt, and perhaps it says, "Go to sleep, darlings, till the summer comes again." And that's by Lewis Carroll.
That is, yeah. It goes to sleep, and then the wind comes, says, "Wake up."
Well, maybe underneath the snow, they're asleep. I mean, snow is a good insulator. So there's that.
Yes. And we will need good insulation this week. And we do not have
really
it.
Cold.
I get some more tomorrow. I don't even know.
I don't either. I think we are supposed to. So you found our dirt. Tell us about it.
So Disney back in 2016 had a record-breaking tomato tree. And it's a variety called Lycopersicum esculentum.
Mm-hmm.
It comes from China. And they had a tree that was 20 feet tall and a width of 12 feet. And if you go online, it just shows thousands of tomatoes hanging from it. So I couldn't understand why my great nephew is showing me this picture on Thanksgiving and saying, "I want to grow a tomato tree," which led to a whole nother topic of cage versus steak tomatoes, which I didn't think was going to come up over Thanksgiving dinner. Anyway, so they're holding it up like I'm going to show them how to grow a tree like that. And I am not.
No, that would be so hard.
So it was a record breaker at Disney, and it's not there anymore because it's from 2016.
Right.
But the good news is Disney is growing another one, but it takes many years to get to that size.
It's amazing. You showed me the picture. I was like, what?
So anyway, I thought that was fun dirt. And
it is dirt.
Yeah, there you go. There's a record-breaking tomato tree. There was at Disney's Epcot Center.
Which was amazing. We should link to it and then people can go look it up.
We always link to our dirt. They shall be able to look it up. Yes.
You want to do the next quote?
I do. Winter is the time for comfort, for good food and warmth, for the touch of a friendly hand, and for a talk beside the fire. It's time for home. Edith Sitwell. Do we know Edith Sitwell?
I don't know. Do we? Do we look her up real quick?
You look her up.
Okay.
And I'll tell you about my rabbit hole.
Okay.
So
I looked her
early
up,
in the week,
you have to listen first. We'll do it.
Okay.
She was a British poet and critic, and she was the eldest of the 3 literary Sitwells. And she was just an interesting. What is she famous for? Oh, she's a modernist poet and critic. And her brothers were Osbert and Sasha Verrill. I don't know. It's a very long name. So the parents were, eclectic and weird, and they sent them all to governesses. That's
as one does.
As one does. So, yeah, she was pretty. She was really pretty, and that's as much as we need to know about her. She doesn't normally write about. She's not a lost lady, is what I'm trying to say.
There you go.
Duh.
So speaking of the lost ladies,
yes.
Early in the week, I thought I have no time to look up a new lost lady. So I decided to get a list of all the ones who wrote Christmas themed books, and I
Yeah.
made that the post.
Nice.
So I thought that was nice. And one of them, Marge Clark, who was actually from not Indianapolis, Lebanon, up north, she wrote Christmas Time at Oak Hill Farm. And her advice for the Christmas to keep from going nuts was first week you decorate, second and third week you spend with friends and partying, last fourth week you spend with your family.
That's nice. It's a good way to do it.
Yeah. So I thought that was nice. And then I was supposed to come up with a list of Christmas themed books and mysteries I'm reading, and I have not done that. Maybe we'll hop on next week and I'll do a short segment and tell you about them. So,
but you're also listening to
The World of Laura Ingalls Wilder, the frontier landscapes that inspired the Little House books by Marta McDowell, which do hope it doesn't lead to me trying to reread all those books that I read as a kid, maybe one audiobook of one of them. But anyway, it's very interesting.
So my rabbit hole is Bill and I have been watching this show, and I got to look it up and see what the name is. Conqueror.
You're watching a show that you don't know the title of?
Oh, we watch so many shows. I'm trying to find the one that's no, I didn't do that right. Okay, so it's a show and it's on Prime, and it's got the guy who was in Grantchester, the series that was about the Anglican minister during pre-World War II and then World War II. It was really good. And I love that actor, and he's in this show. And so the show is all about William the Conqueror and Henry. I don't know which Henry it is. It's a Henry. And Henry's on the English throne. Okay. And then William the Conqueror is in France. He's French. And they're going to end up fighting for the throne. And anyone who knows anything about English history knows that 1066 is a really important date, William the Conqueror. And that's why in English we have so many French words because of William the Conqueror. Because when he came into England and conquered it, sorry people, I'm giving something away. When he came in and conquered it, he spoke French. And so therefore, the court spoke French. And so words like, for example, pig versus porcine, things like that. So
Right.
The interesting thing about this is I've been watching the show, and while I really enjoy the show, and the two actors who play the characters and their wives, who are very strong people, love that too. Strong females. That's nice, right?
Yes.
The history's all bunked up. Did you catch that, Carol? I didn't say a bad word. And the history's wrong in it. And so my rabbit hole has been, I keep going and looking up stuff in the history where I'm like, wait a minute, Edward the Confessor didn't do this or that or the other, because I know a lot of English history. So that's been my rabbit hole. It has absolutely nothing to do with gardening, except that the dad of William the Conqueror's wife is a chef, kind of. I mean, he's a cook. He cooks food. And he was talking about herbs the other day, and he was discussing all the herbs he was going to put on this lamb. And I thought, oh, that's funny. It's funny because those herbs were around and they were in France. So that part's right. But there's a lot of the history that's not right, but I don't want to give anything away.
Well, speaking of history, I did last weekend listen to Eleanor, a 200-mile walk in search of England's lost queen. It's about Eleanor of Castile.
Yeah, who was from France, wasn't she? Castile.
Yeah, but they had all these, after she died, her husband, King Edward the First, maybe, don't quote me. He had all these monuments built along the route where they took her body from where she passed away when they were taking it back to London.
Yeah.
And there was all these monuments. Most of them had either been torn down or, messed up in some way. But so the author, Alice Luxton, Loxton, she decided to walk the entire funeral route on the day and speed at which they walked it in the 1200s.
Wow. That's amazing.
She did that just recently.
I'm really glad you're going to link to that because I might want to listen to that. Okay, so the name of the show is King and Conqueror.
Okay,
and it's about the 1066 Norman conquest of England, focusing on the conflict between William the Conqueror, played by Nicolaj Coster Waldo, and Harold Godwinson, which is King Harold. And it says, while it provides an entertaining and dramatic portrayal of the events, some viewers and historians have noticed historical inaccuracies.
Yeah, like
some big ones. If I can pick up on them, like there was one thing that happened and I was like, that didn't happen. And I was right. So,
well, Alice in the book, she said that Eleanor of Castile, Queen Eleanor, was very into gardens and gardening, and she was quite involved in a lot of buildings and things like that were going on. But she said, and I sort of paraphrase, that if Eleanor had been alive today instead of 1200s, she would have been very much a fixture at the Chelsea Flower Show in London.
Oh, nice. She and the Queen. That would have been lovely. Yeah, if only that's the way it worked. Anyway, that was my rabbit hole and your rabbit holes. And so should we go to garden commissions?
We should.
I am going to plant those Amaryllis bulbs. That's going to be my big garden commission. And keep on.
I hope you do that much quicker than you did your garlic bulbs.
Golly, that took forever. And then I'm also going to go out and water the greenhouse, and I'm going to keep my other plants watered and, just keep things going. That's what I do.
That's good. So here's the big surprise. I believe, even though it's going to be cold, I'm going to watch the old fence go down and the new fence go up. And yes, they can do it in the winter. It has steel posts that are driven into the ground, and then they wrap the wood around it so you don't know that the post is steel. So there will never be a rotted off wooden post in this fence, which is good.
That's nice.
So that's supposed to start tomorrow, Monday. And then I'm going to tend houseplants, tend my microgreens, which I'm still keeping going with those, eating them and growing more. And weather permitting, as in it's not too cold to bring it home, I might buy a new poinsettia.
Nice. It's almost time to do that. Shall we do the we do not care part?
Yes. I wrote it. You say it.
Oh, you want me to say it? I thought you wanted to say it because you wrote it. We do not care if you have too many houseplants. There is always room for a Christmassy houseplant or two.
Or 10. All right, I'm going to wrap us up. Thank you for listening to The Garden Angelist. We publish every week on Wednesdays at 12 a.m. Eastern Time. Be sure and follow us on Apple Podcasts. That helps us get noticed by others.
Cat's trying to get my lap and walk across my keyboard. If you subscribe to our Substack newsletter, you get a link to listen to the podcast a whole day early and links to products we discuss. Plus, go over to YouTube and see us in person. Full episodes show up on Tuesdays. And if you can't wait until Wednesday, you now have 2 ways to get episodes on Tuesday.
If you want to help support us, use our affiliate links. If you buy something after clicking through on them, we earn a small commission and it costs you nothing.
Or you can set up a monthly subscription through Buzzsprout or make a one-time donation through PayPal. You also have the option of pledging your support on Substack.
Thank you to everyone who has done so. It helps us pay for podcast hosting. And a special thank you to Jennifer, who has gifted us gift cards for Betty's Tea Room in England so that we can order some English teas to be delivered to our houses.
Which is amazing because Betty's Tea Room was an amazing place. I got to go there. It was lovely to chat with all of you over the garden gate. Bye until next week.
Bye, everybody.